Welcome to the super fun game review podcast. Go Mega Ultra Between Review Show. Down.
Welcome to MUBRS.
MUBRS.
All right.
Woo.
You guys are getting used to it now.
That was a good cutoff instead of the
MUBRS. And now it's there.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Bring it full circle.
That one's for our Patreon donors. Speaking of,
$1 a month is what we're asking all of our listeners. We got away from the multi-tier thing because we fucking blow at it.
Fair.
We didn't feel like we could charge for the multi-tiers as we were just like weren't able to really keep up with, fulfilling all of that stuff. So it's $1 a month. It's just a support level. It's just as a
Also,
extra, like if you want to help us out.
It gets you a premium badge on our Discord server,
Yeah.
which is also going to be new.
Oh.
So at the time of this release, check our social medias for all of our Discord links and join the party.
Yeah.
We will all be in there. And we're all active on Discord already on a daily basis, and so us having this Discord will be great. And we're all excited to start chatting with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll have conversations in the moment instead of catching those messages like hours later or
Right.
whatnot.
Yeah.
So-
Right.
And we appreciate everyone who subscribes to that $1 a month, and we truly appreciate everyone who has already subscribed to that $1 a month.
Yes.
We really do. I mean, I know it's not much, but it goes to,
Everything helps.
It goes towards the cost because this costs us money every month to do, but we do it for fun. So if you guys enjoy it too, we appreciate you throwing your hard-earned $1 or so into it as well. So thank you so much.
Well, one more order of business. Since this is a MUBRS and a retrospective, it is also brought to you by Deep Creek Glassworks.
Deep Creek Glassworks.
Deep Creek Glassworks.
We are in peak season of craft shows, so definitely
Been everywhere.
Yeah, so definitely check out deepcreekglassworks.com to see where you can find them live in person. If you can't make it out to one of the craft shows, visit their Instagram, Etsy, deepcreekglassworks.com, work spelled WORX, to be able to purchase some awesome-looking glassware from Tanner and those at Deep Creek Glassworks. Some awesome stuff from an awesome person who's been supporting this podcast for years now. So please go support the ones who support us. And if you use our promo code SUPERFUN at checkout, you will receive 10% off of your first purchase. And they will be sent to you in crush-resistant boxes for
Free
shipping. You heard it right. You heard it right here.
Free.
It's like a vuvuzela. I love it. So definitely support Tanner, support Deep Creek Glassworks, and support those who support us, and that's small business, and it's right by us.
Welcome to MUBRS.
We're doing another one.
Yeah,
Why not?
just double
Why not?
dipping 'cause
We're
it's
here.
Fun.
Yeah.
Mumblers.
Mumblers.
Welcome to Mumblers.
Mumblers.
There might be a Mumblers coming up.
No. I just thought you were talking about my performances over the past couple podcasts. My bad. Mumblers.
Mumbler.
Steve is Mumbler.
All right. Well, this evening we are going to be discussing the Nintendo 64.
Ooh, groundbreaking.
We are going to be starting off with some development and just general knowledge about the console itself. So, Nintendo partnered with Silicon Graphics after Silicon Graphics had already reached out to like Sega and Sony and things like that. Silicon Graphics worked on a lot of 3D animation studios, doing movies and stuff like that, and were doing their own game development. But they wanted to partner with a console or licensed it to a console manufacturer. But everybody else was like so far along in their next gen consoles that like it didn't really work out.
Right.
Even though they were interested, it just didn't make sense financially to restart. But Nintendo was like right at that perfect time to be like, no, yeah, this makes sense. Like let's partner on this for our next gen system.
Dig it.
So the console had a 64-bit processor, up from 16 on the Super Nintendo.
I got its name.
Oh.
my god! Oh my
What?
god!
What?
Oh my god! It's in X Games mode.
Oh my god, it's a Nintendo, but 64-bit. How they fit so many bits?
It also had
The look! Oh my god! The look Joe just gave Steve.
It was
If Joe
warranted.
had laser eyes, Steve would be fucking dead.
It's warranted. That's fair. He's like, oh, hey, yeah, jokes. Hey, Steve, shut the fuck up.
He just would have been a smoking pile of hats, socks, and shoes, and that's it.
I know.
smell like bacon in here. It also had increased clock speed up to 94 megahertz, up from 3.
God damn!
That
What'd
is
you
a
say?
Ridiculous
I
boost.
said, God damn! That is a huge processing upgrade, though.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Like on a scale that you don't even get that from, current gens now, like that jump.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're not jumping like 200x.
Yeah, it's insane.
So the system launched in September 1996 in North America at the price point of $199, because that was right after the PlayStation and Sega Saturn had dropped their prices. They were initially wanting to launch at $250, but the other consoles dropped their price, so they were like, well, let's just start there and
Stay
see
on
what we
trend.
can do.
Yeah.
I remember reading that PlayStation did that strategically because
Yeah.
PlayStation with their new console was trying to combat with Nintendo, and they're like, oh, they're getting ready to launch, let's drop our prices.
Yeah.
Force them to drop their prices. And I think the first couple of batches of N64s they lost money on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because of that.
I think we should talk about that in general. How much that? Well, not a specific number, but they lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
With this console, period.
Yeah.
So let me finish this kind of
Sorry.
topic here.
Let them talk.
They launched at $199. They sold 350,000 units in the first 3 days.
Jesus Christ.
Back then, that's actually really crazy.
That's
Crazy.
nuts.
So here's the crazier number. They sold 3.6 million units the first year.
The first year?
The first year.
In 96?
In 96. Yep.
Insane.
That's great.
And then before they were obsoleted, they got all the way up to 33 million units. And they obsoleted in 2002.
So a 6-year run and
33 million units.
that's
What did the PlayStation end up with?
I don't remember. We talked about it in a previous episode. Go ahead and check it out.
If you're like me and can't remember that shit off the top of your head, check out an earlier episode.
We should do a comparison though.
yeah.
I do, because it's the biggest. Like this is where for us in the generations of all the video games, I think this is where
Peak nostalgia.
Yeah, peak nostalgia, and also like you were either a PlayStation kid or a Nintendo kid.
The console wars
The console wars
Yeah.
began
Yeah.
really
Well,
right now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're sitting at I can't verify this, but it says
Google.
PlayStation was 102.4 million.
Holy shit!
So that's like 3 times as much.
This
Yeah.
also did absolutely dog shit poor in Japan.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
they only-
64?
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
They only sold like
So
2 million units, I think it was. I should have wrote it down, but it was terrible.
I have mentioned this anytime that we talk about a 64 controller, but they fucked themselves with that controller.
Yep.
I don't know. It surprises me because Japan loves Nintendo products.
Not so much
But-
anymore. It's
but
not. It's not.
The
as,
PlayStation had come out.
Yeah, and Sony
Yeah.
is a Japanese company as well. So
Yeah.
like, it's not like it's home field advantage.
Yep. I mean, to be clear, also Sega is also a Japanese company. So like,
Yeah.
all right. So as Harry already mentioned, the console was like losing money, like hand over fist when they released. I mean, they obviously launched at $50 less than they wanted to.
Yeah.
The good thing for Nintendo, bad thing for a lot of other people that they were kind of pissed about, was that they were on cartridges, and they owned the plant that made the cartridges. Mm-hmm. So they basically made games way cheaper than everyone else on the platform, and sold them for the same price.
Yeah, that's where they were making their money.
That is capitalism. There you go. You own the market. Hey, we can just produce these at less price anyway.
Yeah. I didn't write down what date it was, but they did also eventually drop the price of all games by 15% for the console.
Oh.
Like all new games coming out and stuff like that, which is surprising for Nintendo because they definitely don't do that shit anymore.
No, they do not. It's really hard to find a deal on a PlayStation
I
or
didn't-
a Nintendo
Game.
game.
I'll be honest, I didn't buy a lot of brand new 64 games.
No,
$60 was steep.
I was discount paying fucking shopping for sure.
Yeah.
Games were $70 when they launched.
Were they?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
In that market?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
The best thing that you could do was go to places like Toys R Us, where they were getting in shipments of the games that they had already paid for, and when their stock goes up, that's when they would discount the games.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah, because
I used to
even
do
like
that. I used to do that shuffle all the time
in,
with
like,
PlayStation games.
today's terms, like $60 is still like a decent ask.
The going rate.
Yeah,
for
and
most games.
which is still a decent ask for a brand new game. Now that you're
Yeah.
getting into like PS5 and shit, it's
Well,
like
$70,
$70, $80, and then you have your collector's things. But like at the time, asking for $60 for a new game,
Yeah.
that's like what 85, 90 with inflation.
It's way more than that. It's like double.
I'm trying to be a little conservative
It's ridiculous.
without being conservative.
Yeah.
Okay. So other crazy stats here. This one really shocked me. Console launched with only 2 games in North America: Super Mario and Pilot Wings.
Really?
Only 2 games, and it still sold. What was it? 350,000 units in 3 days.
Those are all people that wanted to play
Super Mario.
Super Mario.
Yeah. So
And we're like, maybe I'll pick up Pilot Wings.
yeah, right.
I always wanted to play Pilot Wings.
I may have something to say about that.
I was gonna say one of our. I feel like somebody here played that a lot, but
I played it on Super
Was it you?
Nintendo a lot.
Okay,
It's
that's
me.
what it was.
You
Yeah,
play- you
surprise.
play Pilot Wings-
I
Pilot Wings a
played
lot?
a shit ton of Pilot Wings 64, but we'll get there.
Okay,
we'll get
cool,
there.
Cool. So additionally,
no
so
doubt.
remember this console sold 3.6 million units the first year. 5 games on the system sold more than 1 million units in the first year, but it only launched with 2.
I'm gonna guess at 2 of those other ones.
I'd like you to.
Mario Kart 64.
Nope.
Ocarina of Time.
Nope.
No, Ocarina came out late.
It
I was
did-
gonna say Star Fox.
It was supposed to launch the first year, but it got delayed.
In the first year?
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Wave
Star
Race
Fox.
64.
Yeah, Wave Race.
No.
I was saying Star Fox because it came with the Rumble
Nope.
pack.
Dude, all the heavy hitters like that.
Quarterback Club, 98.
I didn't get the list specifically, but I know the games they're not.
Okay.
Okay, because dumb enough, it was like 5 games hit a million units, but it wasn't. Blah blah. Like, and it was like, really? Like,
Which
just give me
one-
the games
Just
it
give me
was.
the...
What was
It
it?
was like
Yeah.
5 games that were supposed to launch. So this launched 96 September.
Yeah.
The following holiday season, there was like 5 major titles that were supposed to launch, like Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart, and a couple others, and they all got pushed out of it.
Ooh.
Like every
Okay.
major title got pushed out of holiday
All right.
season, and they were like, "Fuck!" And they were like, "Okay, we got to release a game, Diddy Kong Racing."
Yikes.
And that was like the only major title that launched that holiday season.
Wait. Diddy Kong Racing came out before Mario Kart 64?
I believe so. I can double check. Maybe I was wrong on the Mario Kart one. Doom, 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 doom. December 14, 96 for Mario Kart 64. So yes, it came out. It came out prior. Sorry.
Okay. Because I was like, I kind of remember this
3
hazy memory.
3 months after launch was Mario Kart.
Okay.
So wait, Mario Kart was not one of the ones that sold 1 million units? in the
It
first year?
was. That was my
Oh,
mistake.
okay. All
My
right.
mistake.
Oh, well, we live up to our 5-star review.
Yeah. Little misinformation there.
Hey, we corrected ourselves.
I corrected you.
Good. Hey, that's why we're a team. Any additional notes about the console itself before we move on to like add-ons and things like that?
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, I think we're...
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the yeah.
So add-ons.
Nitty-gritty.
So this was the first console with a controller that had like an expansion pack built in, basically, or really any way to do that. Also, first controller with a joystick that's self-centered. First controller with a joystick, period, since Atari. Standard controller, anyway. Not like third-party or peripheral or anything like that.
Where's the part where you talk about it's the worst controller ever made?
I don't have that in my notes at all.
Oh, okay. That's weird, because it is.
I figured you'd just handle it.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Hey, great job.
It's the worst fucking controller ever.
There it
It's
is.
far from that, but okay.
Name one that's worse in modern gaming.
You know what? I personally hated the original Xbox controller.
I love the Duke. Duke's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I don't mind the Duke either, but I do hate
anyone with large hands. It's one of the best controllers.
I hate the Sega Genesis controller. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like the Dreamcast controller.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worse than 64s though?
The Dreamcast
Yes.
controller is basically
Really?
the Duke,
Yeah.
so I can't hate it.
At least I can like put my hand in like two different spots for the N64. Dreamcast, it's just like
so for
a
me,
box.
the controller, the N64 controller, as an 8-year-old when I got the console, was fucking amazing. Now, putting my grown ass hands on it, impossible. So I get that part.
That surprises me because I think you would have the same hands as an 8-year-old as you would now because you're just very gangly. Like a... It's like a Slender Man.
That boy ain't slender.
Not anymore, no. His hands, yes. His
how many
body,
episodes
no.
consecutively have you yelled at me for my stomach rubbing?
Talking about your hands, not your stomach.
But anyways, that's my thoughts on the controller.
Old Joe Slenderfingers.
They get work done. Am I not right?
Oh, the worst insult someone ever jokingly told me was that I was a badly drawn cartoon character. I was like, fuck you. I was like, fuck. And like my mind went racing to all the different ways that could go. I was like, oh, fuck you.
No, fuck
Coach
you.
for home movies.
You know, you're...
Giant wide ass shoulders, and then everything goes into a triangle to my feet. Yeah, pretty much.
Your body type is Coach Neil. Oh, fuck.
Damn it.
So yeah, the controller. So it had the add-on for a memory card, a Rumble pack, and I didn't know this one. It actually had a transfer pack where you could plug in Game Boy games to transfer save data to them and from them and stuff like that.
For Game Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
there was something with Pokemon, not Red and Blue, whatever the next set of Pokemon were.
Yellow was after
Where-
Red and Blue.
Yeah, where like
Different. That
No.
was the same generation though.
yeah, the next set.
Was it
Whatever.
like Ruby and Emerald or something like that?
Yeah, whatever the next like
Like the
set.
DS stuff.
No.
No, they were the Game Boy
Game
Color
Boy
ones.
Color ones. Yeah. You could plug those in to it, and if you had like Pokemon Snap, you could like get something by like
Yeah.
transferring
Okay.
data over or something like that. Like
Huh.
Talking about the preferables, the preferals, real quick.
Peripherals. Sound like me.
Peripherals.
Harry, you're drinking too much.
The what was very annoying was if you want to save your game, you'd have to reserve that spot for the save or the memory card, or choose to use the Rumble pack. You couldn't do both. So
That's why you just plug in a second controller. That's what I always did. Because if you had your second controller plugged in,
Harry's like, oh my god, you just changed
see him
life.
go from like, oh,
you could pick which controller the memory card was in.
Oh, that's stupid.
So if you plugged,
Wait, that's stupid or you're stupid?
yes. That's amazing. Just to see the realization on his face.
Oh, that pisses me
Oh,
off.
fuck.
yeah, you could just like leave the controller sitting next to the console and just save on that one.
Sorry, bud.
Harry looks so disappointed in himself.
He is defeated like, shit.
Harry's thinking all the times he missed out on his hands vibrating, and it's just like, damn it!
Especially once he upgraded to a tremor pack.
Yeah.
Ooh, the
I could have
tremor
came
pack.
with this.
Did that come out with Turok? Was that the big thing, the selling point
It
for
was
Turok?
a separate. It was a third party.
The Tremor Pack?
The Tremor Pack. The Rumble Pack was Nintendo brand.
So what had the Rumble Pack first? Was that Star Fox or was
Star
that
Fox
Turok?
came
Star
with
Fox
it.
64
Okay.
was Rumble Pack.
Yeah.
I forget what the big deal was with Turok. I thought something came out with
No.
Turok that was like specific.
It was
You know what game did come with something, though, is Donkey Kong 64 came with the RAM expander. Double your RAM.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Is that the little red cartridge?
So they could
Yeah.
run the static
Put it in the
backgrounds.
top.
I thought that came with another game. I thought that came with Majora's Mask. Or
It
maybe-
probably came with a few.
it might have. It might have.
It came with one game for, like, initially, and then you could get it.
They did the same thing with the Wii. Like when they were like, "Oh, here's like the enhanced controls thing. We're gonna put it out with like the next 6
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo
yeah.
first party
Oh,
games."
the Wiimote Plus or whatever.
Yeah, so
Right.
that people would get it. Like, okay, if you're not interested in Red Steel 2, like here it is in Party Plus or Sports Plus or whatever, like Sports Island.
Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah, sorry, Sports Island's the new one, isn't it? For the Switch.
Maybe, I don't know.
They just came out with something like that. Whatever.
Fucking Nintendo.
So that is all the notes I have about the console itself. And to be fair, the add-ons. I missed one add-on. It was not ever launched in North America, but it was the 64 DD, which is they had a disk drive.
Yeah, I remember reading this a lot in Nintendo Power magazine.
They
what?
pitched it. It was supposed to come out, and they like marketed it and everything in North America. But they released it in Japan, and it did so poorly they just nixed it entirely.
Was
Probably
Nintendo
not a bad
64
idea.
when Nintendo Power died? Or did that die during GameCube?
I don't know.
I think that was like GameCube era.
it was a really cool magazine, though.
It was.
That was like my favorite gaming magazine at the time because it was just so well
Still,
formatted.
I still
Didn't have
have a
demo
few
discs.
of them.
What's that?
I said how it didn't have demo discs.
Back
This
in
was
the day,
before demo discs.
back
It
in
was
the
just
day, like Nintendo Power, like really, like it may be like, oh, well, here's a Metroid 2, and we're doing a full feature on this game, which also includes an entire unfoldable map of like all the levels, or at least like certain levels and whatnot.
I can't remember the name of the magazine that I really liked, and I'm like completely drawing a blank on
Game
it.
Pro.
EGM.
Was it GamePro? Did GamePro have like? Did they cover everything?
Yeah, I think so. And
Or
I think those are the ones that
EGM,
had the discs.
EGM
Electronic Gaming Monthly.
That's the one I liked the
I
most.
had EGM for a really long time.
Yeah.
But there was also GamePro, and I feel like GamePro was the one that was like almost a mix of the two. Like EGM was kind of very seriously talking about games, and Nintendo was just like, we're like the like really endearing like thing. And
We're
then I feel like,
Nintendo.
and then I feel like I think it was GamePro where they did like 5 stars and they had characters as all of the authors.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been old. It's
That was so long ago.
decades ago.
Yeah, yeah. Talking
Approximately 1996. No, we know what year it is. We know what year it is.
That's almost 30 fucking
You're welcome.
years.
You're welcome, listener, from 10 years from now.
God, we're old.
Anyways, that's all I have for the consoles.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have like nothing to add to that. I mean, I think
It was GamePro. I just looked one up.
it was okay. You got it.
Game
Game
Pro,
Pro.
yeah.
All right, perfect. Because
I-
I can't think of any like peripherals or anything extra. I mean,
They had no Zapper or anything for this?
No, not that I.
all the peripherals I brought up were the ones I remembered. I couldn't actually find like a
okay.
list.
I don't think they had a Zapper for the 64.
They had a ton of different colors for the controllers, which was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Do you want to move into like personal stories?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Sure. Oh, the last thing I want to say with the development.
Sure.
I loved how this was a 4-player system.
Yes.
This was the perfect age for me to have a
And having a
4-player system.
4-player.
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
Wait till you hear about the 8-player game I have on my fucking list.
Without having to go out and buy like the multi-tap adapter for PlayStation,
Right.
Yeah.
to be able to have that multiplayer experience, and having a lot of the games built in to support 4-person playing.
I felt like most games were 4-player too.
They
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
leaned into it.
They geared into that. Be like, hey, this is not just for you. We'll give you a game that's just for you as an individual player, but you want to bring in 3 friends to have some fun and join in who may want to go buy their own Nintendo 64. I feel like that was like perfectly marketed, where PlayStation just had, you can have 1 or 2. Do you want to buy some extra shit? Maybe we'll have a couple games.
This was peak couch co-op.
Yes.
Yes.
Peak sleepover time.
Yes.
That was it.
So much confetti into the fans.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember
much
that.
confetti.
I do remember that.
Good times.
That was a mess for months.
Good times.
All right.
Good times.
All right. Do it up, Joe.
Airheads, foreheads.
I bet you can't eat 3. No, I saw some kid's face get sucked into his fucking skull.
Oh God. Anybody want to go start with personal story first?
I mean, I'll go with mine. I never owned the system. I played at my cousin's a bunch. I played at friends' houses. And you know, like I don't know if I said this on the episode yet, but I was honestly shocked about how many games that I came up with for my lists coming up. Both in how small the library actually was in retrospect, and just in never having owned the system, how many games I actually like really thought about and be like, hey, like this is something I'd want to put on a list. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
You're like, I put meaningful time into that game. Holy
Right.
shit.
exactly.
I'm gonna piggyback off of Clark here because I never actually owned the console in its heyday. I bought it years and years afterwards, and the console I bought never actually worked. So I don't really count it as owning the system. But I played a shit ton of these games, and my friend Dan and I, we would swap because he had the 64, I had the PlayStation, and so for like a week or 2 at a time, we would just switch consoles. So it was like, hey, here's all of my games with the PlayStation. I'll take all of your games with the 64, and then just kind of play at our own leisure. But you know, we had a lot of sleepovers at the time, so this is really where it came down to my experience with the system was playing with friends, which was fucking great because you know you had four inputs for controllers. So whether it's just the 2 of us, maybe we had a couple other friends come in and join and play. I mean, this was a great social system.
Yeah. All right, I'll go next. So this was the first system that I would say I owned. The consoles that I had before me were, you know, owned by my elder siblings, basically. But this was the first one that, like, I was like, no, I'm saving like all my birthday and Christmas money to get like the 64 when it comes out.
Nice.
And then I purchased it, and it was like that satisfaction was like amazing. And then so I got the system with the atomic purple controller, which
like
was,
the see-through.
Yeah.
Like nice.
which was
Classic.
fucking amazing.
Nice.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, that was my controller, like hands down my favorite controller color and everything. But yeah, like this is the most nostalgic console for me.
Nice.
Like,
Joe
not
killed
even
somebody
close.
over that controller. I watched that happen. They tried to grab it, and he just like stabbed him in the
Strangled him
neck.
with the cord.
Yeah.
Before I forget, wrapping controllers up has never been so easy.
Yeah, that
Kinda.
one just has all the different prongs and stuff where you can.
You can just
It's
wrap
been so-
the cord around
Do you
the
do the
controller.
X?
The X is the way to go.
Oh yeah,
Like,
okay.
You need to make sure that you give a
Just
little
see him sitting on the shelf.
a little bit of slack on the top of the cord so you don't pull on it, but like a little slack on the top, and then back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen fucking stupid people do that wrap around and then it crosses underneath.
What?
So
You
it
don't cross
looks like
under the
there's
bottom, you
two
cross over
bands.
top.
I know. I'm just saying. I've seen people do where it's like 2 bands over the top and they crisscross underneath.
They should be sentenced to death. Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there because it just like popped into my head all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. So I don't want to rehash the entire story, but I do have quite the memory.
Oh
related to
yeah,
this
that's
system.
right. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
Oh, is this the Christmas one where you have to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring it back up a little bit.
Yeah, just
I'll have the
bridge
cliff
at
notes.
it.
The cliff
a
notes.
bridge version.
Yeah, so I bugged my mom for months and months because I played a bunch at Hamill's house. And I was like, I want this for Christmas. And like I just kept talking about it every day for like 3 months straight, legitimately. And it was driving her fucking nuts. Christmas morning, I get the 64 and couldn't figure out how to hook it up to the VCR.
Oh.
And I cried so hard.
And your mom was a saint.
Yes, and she took me out Christmas morning to try to find the adapter, which didn't happen.
What a good woman.
But yeah, no, it's a very good memory about
Yeah.
that. It's a good mom memory. So, but yes, I cried so hard.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Go looking out, Mama Booze.
Well, when you look forward to something for
Yeah.
so long,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ultimate
it's
blue
Christmas
balls.
morning.
Yeah.
The highlight of every kid's
Yeah.
life, and it just
Oh boy, I'm gonna hook up my Nintendo 60. Oh,
I mean, like it got to the point where she was stripping.
nice, hot, nice,
Was she just out front with a sign? We'll strip for Nintendo.
No, no.
Strip for dongles.
You fucked up, Harry.
She was using
I'm a
the
wreck now.
twisties with the metal in it and trying to strip the twisties so that she could hook it into the
twisties.
God damn it.
Oh my god, how have you brought this up twice and it's just been like the funniest fucking shit on the podcast?
It's cool. You don't need to say anything else. I just came.
Oh man. And while you cried, it's perfect. It's perfect Christmas.
Your tears fuel my
Oh
jism.
man, not like stripping twisties and babies crying.
Perfect Christmas.
Merry Chrysanthemum.
Cool.
So,
Yes.
so you try to twist tie some.
Yeah, she got the metal out of that and was trying to hook it into the VCR, like trying to link because there wasn't enough ports, and
Yeah.
it was a thing.
Wow.
Good times.
All right. Anything else before we hop into games?
Stripping twisties.
Stripping twisties, right?
All right.
I feel like it needs to be the subtitle of the episode. Stripping twisties.
Retrospective of Nintendo 64. Stripping
Twisties.
twisties.
All right. Top fives. Who wants to go first?
Ooh.
I'll go first.
Do it.
Do it.
And I want to say this one did not age well, and this
Your
is
locked in number 5 that you're definitely sure about is
It's written on paper.
yeah, it's Goldeneye 007.
Oh. Slappers only.
wow, number 5.
Yeah. I think some of the other games I'll still pick up and play. I don't know if I'd pick up and play Goldeneye anymore.
I would.
But I have a lot of fond memories of it. But
Would in a heartbeat. I wish there would be some sort of updated version of this.
There's supposedly a remaster coming out.
Okay, I'll believe it when I see it.
There's been like a couple of leaks and stuff like that have like pointed towards it. That's
Yeah.
for Xbox.
Rockets only no odd job.
Yeah.
it
Or
made my
Jaws.
top 5 list though. Barely.
All right.
But it's
Okay.
on my top 5 list. So it's not
All
like
right,
I'm
Fair enough.
trashing it.
No,
You know what
fair,
I mean?
Dig it,
So-
fair
dig it.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, my number 5 is Wave Race 64.
Solid game.
Decent.
I
Love that
fucking
game.
love this game. Played a shit ton of it, and when I can only give credit to my friend Dan, who owned the N64 and the game, and unlocking like riding dolphins
Oh yeah.
instead of like jet skis, and they were basically the same thing, and then the dolphins
Yeah.
were a little more like aerodynamic. Fuck yeah! Who
Yeah, so when
doesn't
you
want
hit
to ride?
ramps, you like fly a little further or whatever.
Yeah, you get a
Exactly.
little speed boost in the air.
Yeah,
Yep.
I still have a personal dream of being able to be like towed by dolphins, even though I know it's not it's not
My
very
brain went
like
to Mario Toad,
yeah.
and I was like, he wants to be
I-
Toadstool.
I don't know if it is the best, but I know it's up there with like a couple of like one of the best looking games on the system.
So much fun.
The water alone.
The water physics did the game.
Was
yeah.
amazing.
The water is great. I just heard all of you say the water. The watering? Yes.
The watering.
Fucking,
Welcome to Pennsylvania.
yeah, Southeast Pennsylvania motherfuckers, but it's tried and true. Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do in that was like they had like the 2 or 3 free roam areas that you could go in.
Where it's like a stunt course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go out to where you're almost bordering out, and there was just giant waves and just go up and down the waves.
Yeah.
And it was just really like a therapeutic, fun game.
Super
Like,
cathartic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's goody.
Okay, I'm getting looked at, so I guess I'm going next. My number 5 is Mario Party, the original. So much fun when that
right.
game came out. So much fun.
That's a solid game. Solid game.
So many broken joysticks.
Oh, so many blisters
Yeah.
on the middle
The
of my
palm?
palm.
From just
Like,
rubbing
A lot of like the
Oh,
weight,
yeah.
like
Dude,
the
I'm not
rafting
jerking
rounds.
off for fucking weeks.
I didn't even know what jerking
that was
off was
that
at
was a
this age
concern
yet.
for you at 8 years old.
I'm just saying, like, I didn't stop playing Mario Party for a long time.
Lifelong calluses.
This is a game I used to.
Your doctor's just looking at your dick. Why do you have a callus on your dick? Peach is real hot. I mean,
Just rubbing the tip of your penis like a joystick.
Yahtzee.
Speaking which, check out my OnlyFans.
Joystick Joseph.
I used to set this game up on autopilot. You set up with
to
4
farm stars or whatever.
yeah, because there was so much shit to unlock in this game, like all
was
the the mini
ridiculous.
games and
Yeah.
shit. So I would just like put on the maximum length game, turn it to 4 bots, and then just like turn the TV off. And
Yep.
just,
Yeah. Go about your day.
Yeah. You'd be like, all right, I got a 100-turn game. Go.
So, my number 5 is a game probably none of you guys played. Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine.
You're right. I never played that.
that was a game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fucking
Yeah.
hipster Clark over here.
It was
I
on-
got a
Indiana
gem.
Jones.
You never.
Dude,
It's an indie title.
It's an Indiana Jones game. Like
Got 'em.
I fucking yeah, seriously, like when I was a kid, like you know how like kids would like dress up as like, oh, like I'm gonna be like Captain Hook or oh, I'm gonna be like Batman.
I was a Spice Girl.
for me it was always Indiana Jones.
What's the Indiana Jones and the...
Infernal Machine.
Yeah, never even heard of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I played it a bunch on N64 and then they made a PC port and I played it on there. A ton.
I was
Right.
looking it up because I wanted to make sure that LucasArts made it, and they did.
Yeah, yes, LucasArts made it.
Nice.
That is my number 5.
Cool.
It's listed. It has a Steam rating. Is it really on Steam?
Yeah, probably. It's probably terrible too. It's probably awful.
Nostalgia.
You want to start number 4s?
Yeah, let's do number 4s.
Cool. I'll go with that. Mario Kart 64.
Dope.
I played a shit ton of Mario Kart on the Super
SNES,
Nintendo, and just having this like on
You're like, oh,
64.
multiple layers now.
Exactly. Like it just added a super amount of depth and extra like bonuses and power ups. How could I not
It was
love
amazing
this?
how good battle mode was.
Yeah. Oh,
That map level where it was like the 4 quadrants of the colors with like the
like all
ramps
the
and stuff,
squares.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was by far the best level. Like I think we played that level like on repeat for hours.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I know there was one on the rooftop which sucked. And there
Oh,
was
in the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had to cross like little walkways across from one skyscraper to the next.
Yeah, it should have been all about fast moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had that, and then you had like the volcano, like the
the
big
donut,
rain,
yeah.
the donut. Yeah, no, the levels in 64, Mario Kart 64 were bar none some of the most enjoyable and replayable. Like with 4 people sitting in a fucking room,
Yeah.
it was great.
I think they're the best courses. Like the
Yeah.
the different what do they call them?
Circuits.
Circuits,
Yeah, yeah,
Favorite circuits.
agreed.
Yeah.
Toad's Turnpike. Chef's Kiss.
There you go.
Fucking amazing.
Oh, see, I
In
like
mirror
the
mode.
Koopa's Beach. that like Pebble Beach.
Koopa
or
Beach.
whatever.
Yeah, Koopa Beach. Yeah.
Toad's Turnpike in mirror mode when all the trucks are driving at you instead of with you.
Yeah, I know.
That's fucking awesome.
It's frightening.
I love it.
Fantastic. Who else has number 4?
Everyone.
Everyone else.
I'll go next. Mine is Cruising USA.
Good choice.
It's solid
Dude,
game.
good game.
So much time in this. Like, and the crazy part is like, this is like the same type of arcade racer that you could have played 10 years earlier. But it was just, on a home console. The controls felt so good.
Yeah.
And it was just fucking amazing.
That's a solid game.
Fucking loved it.
We're going to talk about it again a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll go with another game. Maybe you guys played. WWF No Mercy.
Probably play. No.
Oh, God. No Mercy?
No Mercy.
Specifically
No Mercy because it was the first one. So here's the thing. There was like as someone who had PlayStation, I didn't have access to No Mercy at all.
Right.
Because there was like the Attitude era of games, and then there was the No Mercy WWF style of games, which was a little more like combo oriented in how you played. But No Mercy was like one of my favorite things to play at a friend's house. I almost ended up buying the game to play it at my cousin's because he didn't have the game.
Oh.
And I liked it that much. It was just a really fun game, and like it had all like the hardcore matches and stuff like that that was with that era of wrestling and stuff like that. And I had been playing wrestling games since Super Nintendo even, so like I have a long history of playing those types of games, and it was a good one.
If you want to hear more of that, listen to our previous episode.
Yes, sir.
Harry, number 4.
Number 4. I'm going to quote the game real quick. Andross's enemy is my enemy. Star Fox 64. That is one of the standout lines I remember. When you go against, I forget.
Is that when you kill Flippy?
I didn't have it. I only played battle mode.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't have it, so like whenever I was at a
there
friend
are
who had
so
it,
many.
like,
What was so cool about this game is not only like did they introduce like so a lot of these levels are linear, but then boom, you get to this like boss and it turns into like an arena type of thing, which was awesome. But there's like these secrets in every level. Almost every level, where if you do something crazy, it takes you on a different path through the solar system. So, like, if you go through all the arches in the first level, you fight a completely different boss, which is actually the first boss from Star Fox on Super Nintendo. And then it takes you down the left path, like a hard mode, medium mode, or an easy mode. It takes you down a completely different way.
Yeah.
And you can bounce back and forth between the tracks depending on stuff that you do with the levels. There's secret bosses, secret ending to the game. And I did, like, all of that shit.
right up Harry's alley. Secret is Harry's thing.
Yeah.
Yes, secrets.
It was
Harry loves secrets.
phenomenal. Oh, I unlocked everything. So by doing shit in the game, you unlock the tanks in battle mode.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you can unlock the people.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just
running
running
around
around.
Slippy.
Yeah, it's so hard to target them when you're a plane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's fucking ridiculous. But that game is phenomenal. It's so quotable, and like the characters are awesome.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll.
So great game. And it came with the fucking Rumble Pack too. I don't know, it's just a very satisfying game.
Nice. Number 3s. I'll go first. Mario Kart 64.
Nice. Solid game. So good.
I said what I feel like I need to say when Steve brought it up,
Yeah.
so I'm good there.
Cool.
All right. My number 3, Pokemon Snap.
Nice.
I had so much fucking fun with this game. It's
It
ridiculous.
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. I mean, all you're doing is like taking pictures of Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's
you're riding on a minecart taking pictures.
yeah.
I have a confession to make. I've played 2 minutes of Snap, and that's it.
Oh, it's
Okay.
so good.
That
It's so good.
that's fair if it's not not your thing, but it
No,
just
I'm
seems
not
like
saying it's not my thing. It's just I only ever had the opportunity to play like literally
Gotcha.
2 minutes of it.
That it's one of
I
those
like
where
Pokemon. I enjoy the games.
it's
for the most
one of
part.
those feelings of games where it's like I need to play this so I can complete this achievement. And that's what it really like kind of
Yeah.
came down to.
It was so fun though, because like, you know, there was only like maybe I think 6 environments or levels or something like that.
Yeah,
but like
not a
you had
lot.
to do so, like you're on rails the whole time moving through it. You have to be like, okay, I'm gonna throw a berry here so it lures, you know, a Pokemon out from behind the
Right.
bush, and that's the only way I'm gonna be able to see it. Like, and you have to do all these little tricks and stuff like that as you're going through the level. It was so good.
Like it did not seem very like detail oriented, like face value. But
Yeah.
once you got into it, it's like, oh, okay, I actually need to like do things to be able to like complete the game.
Yeah,
you
there
know,
were
like
certain things you
100%
do
it.
to get Pokemon to evolve through the level too.
Right.
Like you had to do certain things to get Charmander to be a Charizard before you ended.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like little weird stuff like that, where it's more like a completionist type of game than anything else.
Right.
But I fucking loved it.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
The
Interested to check out the Switch version.
Switch version.
Snap 2 came out, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Last year.
okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
More reasons I just feel like I still want to switch, but I just got the PS5 for my birthday, so I don't think I can really say, hey, for Christmas, can I get a Switch? Can you get me 2 consoles in 1 year? All right. Other number 3s?
Yep.
Who still needs?
I need to go.
Yeah.
with my number 3.
Do
I think
it.
that's just you.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta do my 3s.
Okay.
My number 3 is going to be Rogue Squadron, Star Wars Rogue
I
Squadron.
own it.
I was wondering if someone was going to bring this up.
I fucking love that game. And again, it's not one of the games that I got to like sit down and beat, but I would always constantly like play it at my cousin's house. He let me have a save on his cart, and that game just was incredible. I liked Star Fox. There's nothing wrong with Star Fox, but like just for me, especially growing up, like Star Wars was like my shit.
Yeah.
So playing Star Fox in the world of Star Wars was just incredible to me. And I just absolutely love that game. Like the flying mechanics, that first level on Hoth where you're taking down the ATSTs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's just so cool to like, you know, hook your thing up and just hook the
grappling hook.
Yeah, the grappling hook and
Yeah.
and take them down at the legs. It's just it's like, oh, they did this in the movies, you know. Like, Luke did this shit, you know. Like it's just it's a cool. It's just a cool nostalgia filled game.
It reminds me of like the arcade games when you actually got to be like part of like the fighters and whatnot,
Yeah.
and like moving around. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like brings that in. Oh, good shit.
Absolutely.
Good pick.
Thank you.
My number 3 is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Ooh.
I sunk a lot of hours into this game. Yeah. Throwing pots.
So much pots.
It's just, I don't know. It was like one of those first games that had this huge world to explore. And there was so
As soon
much
as
to
you
do in
get
it.
out of Cookery Village into Hyrule Field, you're just like, oh, what did I just step out of?
I know. So, yeah. And those the helicopter plants that would come after you. For like
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
So frightening the first time.
After your first owl experience.
yeah.
Jeez. But yeah, there was so much to do, and it was like just so cool exploring and figuring this stuff out, and like, loved it.
I have a really weird timeline with like Zelda games because like I played a bunch of the like original ones on Super Nintendo, like not on a regular Nintendo, not like the first, but like the like Super Zelda or whatever.
The Super Nintendo?
Yeah, the Super
Okay.
Nintendo Zelda. Was there only one? I
No,
thought I thought
there
were
was
two
there
on the
was
Super
Legend of
Nintendo.
Zelda on like the original NES, but then there was Super Nintendo. So I'm not sure what you're.
Super Nintendo one is
Okay.
the one that I played.
Link to
Okay.
the Past was on
Yeah.
the Super
Yeah.
Nintendo, right?
Yeah, Link to the Past.
That was the Zelda for
Super
SNES.
Nintendo? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought there was a side-scrolling one as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a second one on there.
Yeah.
Those two.
I played the
Maybe.
one that was like the top down.
Yeah, and I think that was a Link, and I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
Link
highly
to the
regarded
Past.
one.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
the
yeah.
other one was.
Right.
Yeah. So I played that one, and then I didn't play any until we did Majora's Mask.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you didn't even play Ocarina of Time before that? Oh, okay.
I played it in passing, but
Yeah.
I've never beaten Ocarina
You never
of Time.
put, like,
so,
time-
So not
oh.
only this, when we did Majora's Mask, I was playing Breath of the Wild as well, and I beat Breath of the Wild, then I beat Majora's for the podcast. And then, like, I have Ocarina of Time on my 3DS. I haven't booted it up yet. Someone got it for me as a gift, and I just haven't. I think Ralph got that for me, actually.
That would track?
Yeah.
It's a great game.
Yeah, I've heard incredible things. It's just I never have my 3DS on.
Okay.
Hurts me a little bit.
It's
I've
okay.
even played.
Alright.
I've even.
It's all right. No,
I might throw out the Master Quest at some point, just because I've
Don't
always
pitch the Master Quest.
No.
Yeah,
Have you
no,
played
don't do
it?
that.
no.
Don't pitch it.
I just thought it was okay. All right.
It's gonna take us like 200 hours to beat, dude.
Is it that hard?
Yes.
Okay.
You die
You
in
get
one hit.
one shot.
Well,
on
I
everything.
thought I thought that was just like an extreme mode of it. I thought they just like changed things around so it's like a different experience.
No, it's like.
And how do you
get
even
one
play
shot
that
on
anymore?
every enemy?
What?
How do you play that anymore?
do you
Master
mean?
Quest.
I
can-
own it. Oh no, I don't own it, but I would probably get it on GameCube or something. I don't-
He's
That's-
just like...
You'd have to emulate it. I have
I was
several
gonna- I was
It's fine.
gonna-
It's
I was
not
gonna
on the
say,
docket.
like,
I
He's
think-
not,
yeah.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
not trying to make a thing out of it.
Christ.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
no. I
coming
was just
after
curious
you.
how.
Suck my nuts.
I was just curious how you fucking play the goddamn game. I don't know. I'd never owned it.
I have
Hey.
it on. I have it on DS and GameCube.
Okay.
Harry, I
Oh,
support
wait.
your movement in
I might have
stabbing
it on
Clark
DS
on the
too,
way
then.
out.
Yeah, I think it came packed with.
Yeah, I think it's packed in the card. Okay, maybe I do have it on DS then.
Oh, look at that. I don't know
Number
where
two,
that,
no
I don't
idea.
know where it stands.
Yeah, let's
I'm
go to
just
number two.
trying to like feed the fuel to the fire.
All right, my number 2, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more here. GoldenEye 007.
Oh,
I'm gonna jump in. My number 2 is also GoldenEye 007.
Fucking amazing.
Incredible game.
Like, so everybody really remembers like the multiplayer, which to me was fucking amazing. Like
that was the game.
I feel well. I mean, to me, the story mode was really fun too. I
Okay.
played the story mode a lot. But you know, the multiplayer, like I feel like every friend group had their own like, hey, no, like these are the rules we're gonna play. Like,
House rules.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
house rules.
Yeah.
You know, like no odd job, no jaws. Or like, you know, and then you start getting the in-game cheats where you can do like slappers only or golden guns only, or,
Rockets
like,
only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, okay, hold on, no RCP 90s because they're just fucking OP.
Yep.
Like nobody like it's 90 fucking bullets in a clip, shoots through walls. Like let's pull
Just
that
an
one
incredible,
out.
just like the most ridiculous shit. Like,
yeah. Let's just nobody use that one.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it came down to it's like, let's try to make these rules and who's really going to follow it because there's like a Johnny in every group and Johnny's like, oh, I'm going to do our job anyway.
Why'd you make him John Evelyn?
Because John Evelyn, I love you. He's like,
I feel like I didn't have that person in my group.
I don't feel
Yeah,
like you
I
should
do that.
restrict my character selection, so I'm gonna
I,
pick Odd Job, and I'm gonna use rockets only because you said I couldn't use rockets only. So fuck you guys. I'm just gonna do it anyway, and we would accept it, which is fine. So we would make it a point to
Don't
kill
put
him
this
for.
Wii shit in there. Like, that's you,
I
dude.
played a lot with my buddy
those
James. And since we're actively trying to not say people's last names now,
Yeah.
I used
For
to
no
play with
reason
my
at all.
yeah for no reason at all. I used to play with my buddy James, and
James.
Yeah,
His
James-
mom
yeah.
was awesome. I'm sorry.
yeah. So anyway, my favorite thing to do in that was play some of like the bigger, more open levels.
Yeah.
And do golden gun slappers only.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like one karate chop to rule them all. Like
Yeah.
it's so good.
I feel like it just all boils down to like Aztec, and that's like
Aztec was good.
the map.
yeah.
What was the one? There was one that was like it was a library, was like the basement,
And all
then,
the
like,
bathrooms.
Yeah. But there was 3 levels. They split it up into like 3 tiers where you could do
Library, basement, and stacks.
Yes. and Stacks was all of them.
Yep.
Yeah. Fucking
Was it?
amazing.
was
Yeah,
a goodie.
Stacks.
And you could get up into the vent above the bathroom.
Yeah. Oh god.
That was facility.
That was facility.
That was facility.
And wait for someone to come into the bathroom. Yeah. Judo chop. Fuck.
Oh, people used to like. I mean, the screen looking, so you'd be like, "Oh, I see
yeah,
where you
yeah,
spawned."
Yeah.
And
Of
then they have
course.
no gun up in the vent, so you just fucking
One
like.
of the common spawn points was on the toilet right below the vent
Yeah,
facility.
yeah.
So you could just wait until somebody spawned and you're like, black!
or slappers only with paintball mode. It's always ridiculous. You're just like painting everything. You're like,
Oh, so much fun.
yeah.
Good choice.
Goldeneye was such a good game.
Yeah.
It was like the quintessential like first-person shooter multiplayer game for that time. Like, it was
Yeah. I feel
nothing
like
compared.
that was
yeah.
like my actual first introduction into like a first person shooter multiplayer, other than like, because after that I found like Unreal Tournament,
Yeah.
and nothing compared to Unreal like GoldenEye did.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean-
just, but they're so different
Yeah.
games.
No,
you know, like-
no, that's fair. It definitely is, but it just
Unreal's
because
much more
as
arcadey, but
a
yeah.
PlayStation kid,
yeah.
Unreal was like the shooter that we had
Right.
to compare it to, and they were just a completely different game. Yeah, it had like all the similar stuff, but at the same time, I had a gaming PC, and I was playing a lot of Quake, and so
Okay.
like Unreal and Quake, I was just like, oh, well, I want to play Quake instead of
Yeah.
Unreal because it's just an offshoot of it, you know, like so. Man, that was like the trifecta of those games in that time period, other than Counter-Strike.
Yeah, but I feel like every single friend that I had that had a Nintendo 64, the main sleepover game was GoldenEye.
Yes.
That was it. That was just like the predecessor to everything. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, we'll play a little bit of this. We'll play some like Mario Kart or something else. And then it's like, hey, by the way, we're going to play some GoldenEye. So at least two of us are not going to be friends by the end of the night.
Oh, man. Steve, number 2.
All right. My number 2 is Pilot Wings 64.
All right, let's hear about Pilot Wings.
Yeah.
This kind of felt like, if you're equating it to something like more, it was basically like a Wii Sports, but like flight based. And I always wanted to fly as a kid, wanted to be a pilot. So it's like, oh, I can go do a hang glider or a ultra light wing or something else. And you were just given like random tasks. And I fucking loved this game. I really did. This was one that I continuously asked my friend Dan, who had the N64 at the time, was like, hey, can we play Pilot Wings for a little bit? He's like, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and play some Pilot Wings. He was just like being nice to let me play that. But
Like,
yeah.
This guy's fucking special. He wants to play that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Can we play Pilot Wings, Dan?
still not wrong. Can we go up in the plane and we can make like we're landing? Look at me, I'm a pilot. Yeah, that is Steve at 13. So it's,
Steve at 13.
I'm not Steve at 13, at 23, and 35. It's the same thing. Can I land a plane, please? But yeah, it was basically just mini games.
He did that on our trip to Austin. They didn't like it.
They did not. They actually gave me a very special meal, which was nice. I don't know why they had to mash up the chicken so much, but I got it.
And they put a pill in there.
They did.
And Steve slept the whole ride.
I did. It was really great. It was really great, and I appreciated that.
Harry, what's your number 2?
My number 2, and I've never even beaten this game.
What?
Banjo-Kazooie.
Really?
Love it.
So many puzzle pieces.
Oh, I love this game.
Even on 360? I remember you were
No,
playing
I
a fuck ton on
100%
360.
every level, and then you got to do Gruntilda's lair thing at the end, and I just like always lose interest to do that. Because it's a bunch of like trivia to beat. I don't know, whatever. Fucking, I like the levels. There's 12 amazing levels in that game. Absolutely love it.
You lose your Kazooie. and you don't want to do it anymore.
The music is really catchy in that game too. It just like gets stuck in your head. I mean, a lot of 64 games they have that like limited loop kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that one, Special Place, is just like really cool game. The mechanics were awesome. The environments were awesome, and it did what Super Mario 64 did, and improved upon all their issues.
Oh,
That's what they did. Like
mainly the camera.
like not falling off of the map, which was kind of irritating.
Yeah.
When you complete a star, it would boot you out of the level for a reset. You can get a puzzle piece and continue on, which was cool. It's like whenever you want to leave the level,
Yeah.
kind of thing, which I thought was awesome.
all right.
They did that in Nuts and Bolts too.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic game.
Yeah, I'm
For
sure it was.
360.
What was Banjo-Tooie on?
64.
64.
I think there was 2 on 64, and then
And then Nuts and Bolts on the 360. Long ass time later.
I don't know. But I remember
Yeah.
they sent out a VHS like sneak preview of this game.
Yes.
That we got in the mail.
Yeah.
And I watched this tape, I swear to God, like 30 times. Like so pumped for this game
Burning
to
it
come
out.
out. Oh, it was awesome. So cool.
Man, he's watching that more than he watches his prawn.
So that was your number 2?
That's my number 2.
Nice.
All right. What do you got, boys?
I'll go first for number 1.
Do it.
And this is the only Nintendo... sorry. This is not the only one. I own 2 Nintendo 64 games. To this day, I've never owned the system. But
Okay.
I own two games.
I know.
Yeah.
Star Wars Shadow of the Empire.
Okay.
That game is just... You play as Dash Rendar. You're kind of... he's a mix of, like, Han Solo and Luke as a character. So there's lots of gunplay and lots of lightsabering.
Okay.
And
He's rootin' tootin'.
yeah, and also he's like a skilled pilot. So he's basically a ripoff of Han Solo, but to this point they had never done a game like it. Like Star
Okay.
Wars never put you in the seat of Han Solo. So that was just like an incredible thing to me. And like there's this one level where you're running along the top of a train and then you fight an assassin robot that's just like absolutely incredible. And the entire time that you're doing it, like you're going around like a junkyard. It's just really just an incredible game. Not a lot of people have love for it or have played it, but I have always been enamored with it. It's my number 1 game on 64.
Do you own a physical copy?
I do. This is one of the only 2 games that I own for
I thought you
Nintendo
said that
64.
because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this one was worth a lot of money if you own a physical copy of it.
I got it at Too Many Games,
Did ya?
actually. I sought it out and bought it.
I'm going to
There you go.
ballpark it. I bet you it's at least $120 for the cartridge.
Really? That's not what I paid for it, but I did pay a decent amount for it, though.
But
for
not $120 for a cartridge
That I can't
for
play,
a
no.
system that you do not own.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Resale.
I've actually been
Nice.
meaning to ask if I could borrow someone's 64 if they have one that works.
I'll check my tubs. All the Rubbermaids.
All the
I thought you said your 64 was broken.
Yeah, I'll search my chubs. That's
Well, mine still
chubs.
works.
Yeah.
Mine's the worst.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, my number 1 is Ocarina of Time. And I don't think it's really any surprise. I've talked about it at length on many episodes now.
Yeah.
I'll kind of leave it at that.
Perfect. I will follow up. My number 1 is GoldenEye 007.
Nice.
Which has already been discussed. I can't really add too much more to it other than this was my introduction to first-person shooters, which just opened the floodgate for everything else to come.
Yep.
My number 1 was also mentioned previously. Cruising USA.
Nice.
Nice.
It's just something so satisfying about that game. It's like one of those feel-good games that, like, I don't know, just takes me back to the 90s, man.
It's not even that hard. It's just like,
No. Well, when you
Not-
start going for the higher tier cars, like,
Yeah, yeah,
'cause
yeah.
every time you knock up the difficulty 2 pegs,
the whole game is like a time trial, basically. But it's for the whole USA, not for a level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was cruising USA.
Yeah.
I just like how it connects, and you can see the map across.
Yeah.
The line going across the U.S. and it just, I don't know, it's awesome. I wish they would redo this concept. Well, I think they have, didn't they? There was
Drive
Cruising World.
no.
Well, they did World and Erotica afterwards, or Exotica.
Erotica.
Erotica. Cruising Erotica.
You're just getting
I mean, there was always the girls that were like, "Ooh, yeah."
A little
the
Gianna.
finish line's right over this hill. Oh God!
The finish line's right now.
The sun's setting.
Gianna Michaels for everyone. I just finished.
Wave the flag, bitch.
Fiend.
Oh, I just came around the finishing turn.
Yep. Just blanket statement. I just came around the finishing turn.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Cruisin' Gianna. What?
Cruising Gianna Michaels.
It's a great game, though.
I wish.
Amazing.
Is that all
That's
number
everybody.
ones?
That's all our number ones.
All right.
Alrighty.
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. I got a stupid list.
Yep.
All right.
None of my honorable mentions have been mentioned so far.
All right.
I just removed one of my honorable mentions, which was Wave Race.
I have a few, so I'll just tack them off real quick. Bomberman 64.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. Gauntlet Legends, because that was one of the senior week games.
That was a whole senior year game and beyond.
Yeah, I only experienced that on senior week when I was like the most stoned I've ever been in my entire life,
You
probably.
and I played that a bunch, Harry.
What's that?
Gauntlet Legends.
Yeah. And then Cruising USA, because that was also a senior year staple. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
I have Majora's Mask on my list.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy, because there was a different character list for N64 than there was for the PlayStation.
Well, it was just shorter list. The better version was PlayStation. In my
It
opinion.
was. I was just trying to be nice. I think there's like one or two characters that were exclusive for N64
I don't know about
that you couldn't get for PlayStation. Either way, whatever, doesn't fucking matter. Rampage World Tour.
Yes.
South Park the game. Which is like the stupidest fucking game ever, but it was just stupid fun. Worms Armageddon, again, a Harry version because that's the only place that I actually played that game. And
Wait, Worms.
Armageddon?
We played that on PS2 when we played.
Okay. And then
Deleted.
Strucken from the list. Fuck you, Worms. You're a bitch. And then Star Fox 64, which Harry already mentioned. So it's my honorable mentions of 10 games.
I still have a fuck ton of games that I've
All right,
mentioned.
I'll do. My list isn't crazy
Yeah,
huge. Maybe I'll knock off a couple of yours.
My list is small too. So.
Mario Kart 64, which is the one I was thinking about swapping with Goldeneye. I'll be completely
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
Mario Party, Rampage World Tour. All these were said. Super Smash Brothers. There's another one that I really wanted to sneak on my top 5. It was couldn't. Extreme G.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
yes.
Yes. Sorry, that's like a fucking cult fucking name
It's like a futuristic.
It's like F-Zero but motorcycles.
Fucking love you, Clark.
This had a 4-player battle mode as well.
Yeah. I just came a little sorry.
Yeah. Let's see. Flying Dragon. Has anybody played this?
Flying Dragon.
Don't even remember seeing it on the list.
So it's just weird. I got this a bargain bin, but it was surprisingly like awesome. It was a weird Japanese fighting game.
Surprise.
That had weird like blocky kind of characters. But what was awesome about this game is item and equipment. You can equip stuff, level it up. All your equipment gains experience by doing battles. I'm telling you, this list of equipment was like 150, 200 pieces that you can customize your character with. For 64, it was absolutely insane just how much different shit you could put on these characters. Some would give you like a wind attack. Some would give you a regenerative health. Some of them give you like twice as much health pool. Like it was just crazy, like the way you can like customize your characters and like go through this gauntlet. Awesome, phenomenal.
All right,
so that's my piece on Flying Dragon. I bet you most people have never even heard of it, but it was such a cool little game. Fighting Force.
Yes.
Fighting
I have
Force.
that on my list as well.
Yeah, I'd be sad if nobody mentioned that tonight.
Nice.
I only wish it was 4-player. How dope would that game have been if it was a 4-player?
It would have been incredible.
Oh,
I feel like on PlayStation it was.
No, they limit you to 3 because there's only 3 characters.
Yeah.
it was 4 characters, 2 girls, 2 guys.
Yeah.
On the PlayStation version.
Oh, I don't know about the
there's
PlayStation
3.
version.
Because I feel like on the PlayStation
You had to
version there
unlock
was
the 4th.
there was like two guys, 2 girls.
At any rate.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Fighting Force, a lot of people remember it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
awesome game.
Fun
I never
game.
beat it. Never beat it.
I think it's
No?
one of the last great beat 'em ups.
It could have been.
Like side scrolling, just
Yeah.
fuck everything up on the screen.
Pokemon Snap, Top Gear Rally. I thought Top Gear
was
Rally
fun.
was another one of those like
that
really
was a-
good looking games.
That was
for
a
the
fun
system.
game.
That was a hard one though.
Yeah.
Because it was very different. Like I liked Cruising USA for the arcade style. Top Gear Rally was very like,
Technical.
if you bump this wall, the fucking physics are gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, it was like
Your
a
car.
it was like a Gran Turismo Plus.
South Park, the first Turok is the one I played a lot of, and
Okay.
another one that I had decent memories of, and then I watched the videos on YouTube earlier today, and I was like, wow, this game looked like trash. Paperboy 64.
Oh, yeah.
I remember enjoying it when it came out, but like I don't.
I got a couple of those on my list.
Yeah, that is one like do not revisit.
So that is my honorable mentions.
Good list, man.
All right. After your list, I only have 3.
Go ahead.
NFL Quarterback Club 98.
Okay.
For the 4 years that game was around, every single year they featured Brett Favre on the fucking
Brett
cover.
Favre.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
But that was a really fun just departure from
It was like a
the
lot of mini
game
games.
day and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was a lot of they did a lot of like the skills assessment stuff, which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting, like like throwing accuracy and things like that.
Right.
Like, so that was always fun.
Yeah.
ECW Hardcore Revolution, which is the other physical game that I own, and I only bought that so that I could get Tommy Dreamer to sign it, and he did.
Was that at Too Many Games?
Also at Too Many Games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I saw that memory pop up like a few days ago of like you actually getting to interview him. So yeah.
That was that was so incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So
Clark came.
I have a signed version of the ECW Hardcore Revolution by Tommy Dreamer, and Paper Mario. Not a lot of people talk about that game, but I thought it was a lot of fun, and I've been really digging the newer version on Switch.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. So
It's a new Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
Because I know they had that for Super Nintendo too. So
Alrighty. I got a list here. So, first game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It's actually the first place I ever played it was on 64.
okay.
Which was terrible because they don't actually have the videos in the game.
yeah,
Turok, as Harry mentioned. Vigilante 8, which is basically like...
Oh, Vigilante.
Is it like Twisted Metal?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Burnout meets Twisted Metal.
yeah.
Like
Vigilante
it's
was
an actual race, but you still like have weaponized cars like Twisted Metal.
Okay.
right, and it's not as dark as Twisted Metal.
Yeah, no. It's more,
Very
it's more
few
comical.
games actually are as dark as Twisted Metal. If we're gonna be real about it.
That game is so dark.
The simply amazing game of Glover.
Oh god, I knew that was called. Hey, I saw that Glover 2 was one of the 3
It
games
is.
that were never released on the
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, Glover is also making a comeback. It's
for
released
who?
like
It's on Steam now. Yeah.
yeah.
Joe probably has it.
Army Men, Sarge's Heroes.
Oh yeah, the Army Man games were great.
Now this game, you're gonna fucking dog me for this one. Beetle Adventure Racing.
Oh, dude, I was fucking thinking about that. I was thinking about it the other day. We used to play the shit out of that.
It's literally when they came out with the new Volkswagen Beetle. They came out with a racing game that you could only use Beetles.
Oh my god!
But the racing physics were amazing.
I bet
Like,
they probably
it's-
copied them
like-
from one of the popular games.
It's
and were just
like the
oh,
Metacritic score on it is like a 93.
that's incredible.
Like it's crazy. It's so good. Bomberman 64 was mentioned. Doom 64.
Yeah.
Excite Bike 64. Going through this list, I didn't realize how many racing games I played on the 64.
a
What a
ton.
surprise.
There were a lot on that system,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Monster Truck Madness 64. Racing game, Monster Trucks. Rush 2.
I hated the first one.
San Francisco Rush?
Yeah,
Garbage.
It was so hard to turn the vehicles, and everybody
Yeah.
was like, "Why are you complaining about the controls, Harry?" Like, I felt like I always had to say,
felt
like, the
very
controls are
sluggish.
shit.
Rush 2 was so good.
Okay.
And then they had the in Rush 2 they also had like a trick level where like they had like almost like a skate park for cars.
Interesting.
And you would drive around and you would like hit ramps and score points and shit like
Okay.
Oh, I kind of remember that.
that. It was pretty fun. Micro Machines 64.
The Mesquines?
Mesquite?
Micro Machines.
Moschino?
I know, Mesquite! You got too many, Harry!
So
You're like an African baby.
so Micro Machines 64 was an 8-player game with 4 controllers.
Wow.
So it was a top-down racing game.
Could you play it with either side of the controller?
Yes.
That's-
so one person
that's
played with the
stupid.
D-pad and one person
That's
played with
dumb.
the C button.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
You faced each other with the controller, but you had to turn and look at the TV.
Sounds terrible.
It does.
The creators of this game are like, how can we get children to almost kiss? Let's get them to share an N64 controller.
Surprise, it's candy.
And then I have Extreme G and Smash on my list.
That game's fun until your partner starts just playing with the joystick with their finger instead of playing the game.
Hi, this is feeling really good. You want to come over and give me a little smooch?
Yeah, it was weird because like it was like it had like weapons and stuff and like a jump mechanic, but you had to use like the L or R button depending on what side you were on to like activate. It was so.
I say no thank you, sir.
Every single thing you say, it's just like, oh, that's a pedophile.
we should play that game, but only play with 2 controllers. Like all of us grown-ass men try to play that game.
Play that game, and it's like, hey, you want to get my van? It's
Oh,
really
God.
good.
So you already hate the 64 controller. You want to share it with somebody for the experience?
You want to share
Just for the experience, just for the story. I'm doing it for the story.
Okay, well, I could get behind that.
one prong of
I
the trident.
attracted Harry with my Micro Machines van. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's how he and I became fast friends.
I got
That's
into
a-
the van.
That is a very weird
Fast
way to
and
say
loose.
penis. So
I used him just for his micro machines.
And he used you for your cupcakes.
but
all
but-
of them. All of them.
all the cupcakes.
I remember it. I still remember that day, just seeing you at the end of my...
Your mom still fucking brings it up sometimes.
Oh, yeah, 'cause we joked about it for years. Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, was he the one who ate all the cupcakes?
I had like 4 cupcakes. I was a fucking fat kid. I don't know what to tell you.
God, you are so molestable.
I mean, to be fair, 4 cupcakes is a lot for anyone.
They were tiny little cupcakes.
To a small fat kid, sure. You want some cupcakes?
Anyway, games that defined.
Oh, man. I'll roll right into mine. I only have one game that actually wasn't mentioned so far, which is surprising to me. Pokemon Snap, I think, is game defining. I think there was like an immediate cult classic. I think a lot of people just were like, Pokemon Snap,
Yeah.
that's weird. But
Definitely.
like everybody who played it loved it. Star Fox, obviously. Super Mario 64 has its problems, but it's also defining.
Yep.
Like it is absolutely defining. I think it changed the way a lot of games kind of were developed afterwards.
That game was huge when it came out.
People took the great parts out of it, and luckily only the great parts. Diddy Kong Racing for me was everything that Mario Kart was, plus a little bit because of the hovercrafts and planes in the same tracks and things like that. So much fun. And Perfect Dark. Just expanding upon what Rare already did with GoldenEye.
Good choice. So for console defining, everything has been mentioned. Mario Party. I mean, I feel like that's like one of the games that brought back like couch party gaming, like to its core. Actually, all of them. Super Smash Brothers is another console defining. Mm-hmm. I do have Super Mario 64 only because I think just the interactive aspect of a Super Mario game. This was, something that you could not deny. And the last one, of course, is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Majora's Mask was good. It was no Ocarina of Time. I mean,
there would be no Majora's Mask without Ocarina of Time.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Are those like the closest of any Zeldas that feel like
they
a
were
sequel?
only a year apart,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and it almost felt like the first one led into the second one in a way, with that opening
They were
scene.
also kind of the same level of development of games because after Majora's Mask was Wind Waker. When was the next
probably,
Zelda after that? I think that was
Wind
the
Waker,
next
then
one.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, so I think even like, and the two of those were still kind of like along the same lines. Well, Twilight Princess.
Or no, Skyward Sword, I think, was before that.
Yeah, but I think like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask were built on like the same engine, or at least the same
it was probably the same engine,
yeah, or at least same like artistic like field. And then the next one was something totally different. Yeah. So I say you're right.
I'll do my list. It's just regurgitating at this point. But Mario Kart 64, Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, and Turok.
Yeah.
I had Super Mario 64, GoldenEye 64, Wave Race 64, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 6, the same shit that we're all mentioning. So that must mean it is defining if we're all bringing it up now.
Yeah, I think this is the most cohesive we've been on our console defining.
But I also had Mario Kart 64, Super Smash Brothers, and the one I don't think anybody mentioned, Pokemon Stadium. I was so
I don't think I've ever played it.
No, I was so I thought it was going to be like Super Smash, just focused on Pokemon.
Yeah,
it was not.
It wasn't.
It was very disappointing.
And that
but
was,
it got a lot of hype.
Yeah, another one that I need to put on my list is Super Mario 64.
I mean, I would only give like
that it's console defining.
Oh, you know what else is console defining?
Sucks.
The controller.
It's fair. That is the only it is defining because that is the only console that controller configuration has ever been seen.
And it's a very polarizing controller.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
alone
love or
in hating
hate.
it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It's a very polarizing controller. I think a lot of people like it for nostalgia, but it is not aged well with the user.
Could not have. I don't have a negative experience with the controller.
When we did Mario 64, man, the controller was like my biggest issue.
I mean, that Z button fit right up my butthole like any other controller did. So it's good in my book.
And in your butt.
I think there's a difference like growing up with it and
Sure. Yeah.
kind of going back to revisit it.
Nah.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with it when I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was a dumb controller.
It was silly.
But
Yeah.
it functioned for me.
Yeah.
Now, older, bigger hands, it doesn't function for me anymore. So I just feel like, okay, like this is this thing
Very
that
cramped.
I can't play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get that.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, that wraps up our retrospective of the Nintendo 64. You guys can join us in 2 weeks for our review of Trek to Yomi.
Taking a trek. And we're going to Yomi. Get ready for some subtitles, motherfuckers.
Get on some Discord. Hop
Yeah,
on the Patreon.
We'll be doing the entire episode in Japanese, so.
Right.
Good.
So
I've
until
been waiting
then,
for this day for so long.
I love you guys. Konnichiwa.
Stay safe.
Stay lovely.
Stay sexy.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media and all streaming platforms at Superfun Podcast for more episodes. If you enjoyed the show, tell a friend about us and consider becoming a Patreon member for more exclusive content.